Okay, I'm recording this video to show what I'm saying about the wrist, how to use the wrist in the arm. Of course, it's going to be very short because we could take 1 hour talking about the wrist and the forearm. There's so much, but for Sebastian, we're working with Baroque music, Bach, Vivaldi, and most of the things that I've seen Sebastian doing are very good with the wrist. Actually, there are some things, short notes that we require more use of the wrist, like. I don't remember exactly the music. I don't have the notes in here, but yeah, we have rhythm like that. Okay, so every time we have this rhythm involving 16th notes, we have to use more of the wrist. Okay, so the longer the notes, the more we use the forearm. The shorter the notes, the more we use the wrist. And if you keep going like even shorter, like at some point we might require even the fingers to. Okay, so of course we need some exercises to free up the wrist and also the fingers. It takes time, okay, because it involves the development of final muscles. And I asked Sebastian to practice the Kreutzer Etude number 2, which is this one. Okay, so we have arm in here. This is not like if you use arm, you use 0 wrist or finger, or if you use wrist, you use 0 forearm. No, it's not like that. Even when we use lots of forearm, we still use somehow a little bit of the wrist. So this is like a spring, like the car's spring system. It's kind of like that. It's flexible, and also if we use the wrist, it doesn't mean that the arm is going to be like all frozen up like that. But we do that as an exercise, of course. So I asked Sebastian to practice the Kreutzer number 2 this way. Well, we don't play like that in real life, but as an exercise, we try not to move the forearm, just to work out the wrist. So that's the thing. And also to practice some variations involving 18th and 16th notes, like. Which would be the same result as. Of course, that you can play that the 2 ways. You can use the whole motion as this is, like, let's say, like 70% arm, 20% wrist, and 10% fingers. Well, the numbers don't really matter. It's just to exemplify. You can. Or you can play the second way as a real exercise, like only moving the wrist. And as you can see, it's quite impossible to use the wrist and not use the finger. Both things are very connected. So both things are really work like a spring system. And he can also practice only using the finger. That would be a third way, like. Well, you can see that if you use the wrist, the notes have to be short. And if we only practice with the finger, there's no way to play longer than that. So really as an exercise, okay? But let him know. I think that Sebastian is the one watching the video probably also. When you're playing, this is okay. Just be aware that your wrist can be engaged on the playing. All right. Yeah. Usually it takes time. Like at the beginning, we play like that, and it takes some time until we can totally use the wrist and the fingers. But yeah, keep going and do your practice. You'll get there.